Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get the meeting started. First thing we need to do, because it's the first meeting of the month, or first meeting of the year rather, is we have some business we have to take to. First up is president.
Nominate Jim.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The town newspaper, or the newspaper for posting of town's official notices.
County Enterprise.
Newton County Enterprise. Is that a motion, Gary?
I make a motion. Use Newton County
Moved. Do we
Enterprise.
have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town attorney, I'll move we appoint the firm of Barson Redland.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We want to keep the town council meetings on the regular night of the third Monday of the month at 7 o'clock.
I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town depository, First Financial,
I make the motion.
Second.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Building inspector, code enforcer,
I'll make a motion. John retains.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
On our shut-off list, I'm going to read off a list of names, addresses, and amounts. After I get done, that'll be your time to speak if you're here for any of these properties. Tina Terry, 109 West North, 5801. Mike Picate, 315 North Newton, 11272. Randy Culbreth, 320 West Mill, 13658. Tiffany Hood, 419 West Jasper, 9560. And Amanda Chilcott, 125 North James, 19594. Is there anybody here for any of these properties? Entertain a motion to disconnect.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unsafe building hearings. Judd.
The first one is 502 South Newton, Joe Deal and Scott Royal Smith, trustee. Joe's here. You were ordered last month to make progress on the following: mortar the bricks covering the front steps, complete the tuck pointing, and finish trimming out the windows.
The windows, I think, are good to go.
Like trimmed out?
Yes. The tuck pointing, I did not get to, and mortared steps, I did not get to, due to partially the weather. But there were a few nice days. But overnights were kind of cold.
You agree with the windows?
Done much on the mortaring, that's
Probably can't.
Yeah.
obviously hasn't got the upstairs windows.
So what's your plan now?
Speed up the process.
Okay, got that. You know, you're not gonna be able to do much from, now until the weather breaks. You wanna put together a plan and come back at, say, our March meeting and give us what your plan's gonna be, what you can get done by our April meeting?
Yes. That would be good.
And the steps he put on there, not gonna work. Gonna have to do something there, that, them things that fall off and somebody hurt themselves.
Oh, yeah, they have to be fastened, and then they have to have bricks put on the outside and build it out.
Okay.
4 inches on each side.
Put together a plan. I'll make a motion that he puts together a plan and brings that plan to us at our March meeting and gives us an idea of what you really can get done. Don't overestimate, just a realistic plan of what you can get done by our April meeting. It's been moved, we have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It'll be April 16th,
That'd be the March meeting.
March
Judge.
meeting.
or March 16th, I'm sorry. Yeah, March 16th, my bad. Next one is 129 West Union Street, Gerald Cornell.
Here,
Okay. You've received an unsafe building order that listed a series of things to be repaired. Repair or replace the roof, repair or replace the damaged windows, repair or replace the siding and rotted out wood, pick up the yard and remove all logs on the property, clean up the debris on the property, and clean up the fence line of all tree and brush on the fence, including hanging over onto the neighbor's property. Do you believe that all or any part of those need to be addressed, or, because how this would work, it's a hearing, so if we need to, if you're not agreeing to any of that, I would place John Schwartz under oath and he would testify about his observations, and then you'd be allowed to ask him questions or make a statement, and then the town council would decide whether to affirm the order, to rescind the order, or to amend the order in some way. Are any part of those list of actions necessary, do you think?
Yes. Now, the wood in my yard, I only have wood heat. That's why there's wood in my yard.
Okay, 1 sec.
Now, the roof has been redone a couple of years ago. Yes, the windows could use some repair.
Okay, 1
And
second.
I'll work on I have done it, but I'll do more on the fence line. I know I have that one tree that limbs hang over.
Okay, let me go through these in order. So, because you're addressing most of them one way or another. Repairing or replacing the roof, you said all of it was replaced a couple years
Yes, it's
ago?
all been redone.
What about the backside, south side of it?
That's
I
got
was
tin
back
on
there
it.
today and it either has stuff laying up there or there's shingles just laying around.
I got everything off the roof.
Must've been today. There was stuff back there today.
On the roof?
Yep.
I say, I haven't seen anything, but I'll look.
So you're saying the south side of the roof has objects on
It's
it?
either got debris on it or there's, the shingles are coming off, one or two.
Okay.
There was somebody parked in the alley back there and I didn't get back where I wanted to get.
So, repairing or replacing the damaged windows, how many windows did you think were in need of attention?
I honestly don't know. I took pictures, but when I went to CVS to get them developed, they didn't come out, so.
Okay, do you have a range of windows that need attention?
I would say at least 4 or 5, but that's a guess.
Are you familiar with any windows that need to be addressed?
I have one window that's in my bathroom, in my dining room, I've got a window that's cracked. And upstairs, I got one that's cracked, but there are storm windows, so there's no large amount of air coming in.
What was the damage to the windows that you were thinking of? Was it cracked windows or damage around the window or missing windows or what?
There's a lot of the, I think one window has wood on it, plywood over it, and
Oh, that's that side window, yeah, I know, I need to work on it.
So there may be a disagreement about how many windows need to be addressed, but let me keep going. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you
Okay.
just fine.
Okay, repairing or replacing the siding and rotted out wood. Do you know what that's referring to?
Honestly, no.
there's siding coming off as soon as you walk out your front door. If you look to the left,
Oh, okay, I understand what you're talking about.
Okay. front door. Is it missing or is it hanging down or what is?
it's just hanging down. I think some of it's missing too, but I think maybe it's like asbestos sheeting, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Been on there for a lot of years.
Okay. Picking up the yard and removing all the logs. So other than the logs that you use for heat, do you think there's anything in the yard that you need to address?
I know before it got cold, I went around with my mower and mowed down a lot of stuff. I mean, there might be some, but not a lot. I mean, but now that it's cold out, most of it's disappeared.
Well, you've been giving some of it away, haven't you?
The wood?
Yeah. I've seen a couple
Like-
trailers.
Construction wood or,
No, it's,
Limbs.
they used to cut tree limbs down, trees
No,
down.
I stacked all that wood up.
Well, there's plenty of it still there.
Yeah, there's still a lot there.
so it's like cut and just kind of strewn in the yard or,
Yeah.
and not stacked, but you're intending to burn it?
Yes,
And you know you need to stack it because you've stacked wood, some of the wood already, right?
honestly, well, the most I've stacked is inside the room. I haven't really stacked any outside, but, I mean, that can be done, but yeah, I still have chunks of wood out there that need to be split.
Okay. And cleaning up debris on the property, what's that referring to?
Just,
Cleaning up the property?
just clean up the property. I mean, it looks a mess. They had a fence around it where you couldn't see it, but you took the fence down for some reason or other. A few years back, didn't you?
Honestly, no, I haven't moved any fencing.
I thought there was a fence across there.
Is there
Used to be,
a fence that has things grown up in it?
Onto the west side of the house, there's a metal fence between the two properties, and he's got a tree right next to next to the fence, and it's went over the fence and hanging on the neighbor's
Okay.
Yeah.
property, on the neighbor's side.
yeah, that needs to be brought down, yes.
Okay. It sounds like you don't disagree that some attention is needed, but it sounds also like you don't understand everything that he thinks needs to be addressed. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to a town meeting.
This is how they typically, I mean, there may be a list of things that need to be addressed, and depending on how serious it is, it may take 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, or because of cold weather, it just depends on how serious the repairs are. But, so what happens is the town council will decide whether to affirm the order or vacate the order or amend the order, and like maybe give you more time, or have you two meet out at the property so you can come to terms on what you think needs to be addressed, what he thinks needs to be addressed. Because he's the town official that helps determine that for the town council. That's why he's being sent out to do that. But that's how these typically go.
Right.
So if you've heard the concerns that he has, how much time do you think you would need to address those things? Or are there things that he said that you think you could do in the next like 30 days because of the weather? Maybe
There's
that,
probably a few things I could do, but as far as that tree, that's gonna have to wait.
I understand.
Give him let's give him 90 days. He's got a lot of stuff to do.
Maybe those two meet so they can figure out what the list is
Yeah.
that's gonna be accomplished, and report back in next month or 2 months to say what the list is and what his progress is on the list. Does that sound like a,
Yeah.
Is that a motion? You made that motion that Judge just outlined?
Yeah, I make a motion that John gets with Gerald, makes
Yeah.
up a list, and we can come back in,
And I'll get pictures of it.
how about 60 days because of the weather?
Oh, yeah.
It's been moved. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
so Mr. Cornell, there's gonna be a meeting in March. It's March 16th, just 2 months from tonight-ish, and it's their monthly meeting. Before then, sometime in the next like 30 days, you and John meet and discuss what needs to be on this list of things to be addressed. And you come back on March 16th, and they'll take a look at the list and what progress has been made on it, because some of the things can't be done until warmer temperatures, but some can.
Right,
And then they'll work out a timeline for you to accomplish those. Do you
okay.
understand? Did you get my mail okay when I was sending it to the address that I used?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm going to send it to you by regular mail, not certified mail. Do you understand that? It's just going to be a regular letter
that's fine,
that summarizes what we just talked about.
okay.
All right? Do you have any questions?
No, everything's fine.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the next one, the last one is 202 West Mill Street. And it is Stanley and Beth Verkler Living Trust and Joe Calvert. Joe Calvert, are you're Joe or you're
Yeah,
Stanley?
I'm Joe.
Okay. And unsafe building order. And
These are bad, the names get a hold of you.
the actions that you were ordered to take, exterminate vermin in and about the premises, which we'll talk about in a minute to see what Mr. Schwartz saw. Remove trash, debris, and fire hazardous material in and about the premises, and repair the building specifically by repairing or replacing the roof, overhang and trim. Also, siding on the west side of garage needs to be repaired or replaced. Of those things that,
They have taken the garage down.
is that where these repairs were to be done?
Yeah.
Okay, so other than taking the garage down, is there anything else, vermin, trash, debris, fire hazardous material, any of that?
I think you just have to make sure that you get everything put somewhere. and-
Yeah. We've got a bunch of stuff we pulled out of the garage that's sitting in the yard now, but we're gonna deal with it.
Okay. How do you,
How much time you need to deal with it?
Couple weeks. I know most of the garage is gonna be gone tomorrow. But like as far as the stuff, couple weeks so I can get it put somewhere else.
Make a motion, we review it at next month's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
and you got my mailing okay? And, okay. Okay. Very good, thank you. That's all I got.
Do you have anything else, John?
Pertaining to his cleanup, Ryan Murphy is doing that. And he brought up that, what was it, Menards has some kind of portable garages.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but the garages have vinyl sidings all the way around, front, and back, and sides. But he said he somehow or another, he picks up tires for somebody and he stores them somewhere. He made a comment, and I texted him yesterday and told him that he should be here to explain this. He wants to get 15 of these portable storage sheds. And I mean portable because they're not gonna be in the ground. They're going to be just steel rods and canvas roof, just like an army tent. And he made a comment, he was buying 15 of them to put tires in. And I don't know if we want 15 of them sitting around town, do we?
Full of tires. Where do we stand on that?
Is this, who's doing this?
Just a guy here in town.
Okay, not,
No.
No.
you can't store I mean, you can't store tires, that's not in a resident, I assume it's at a residence, no, you can't do that. That's just like the mower guy with all his mowers and his parts, you can't warehouse your junk. You can't store things outside for a home business, inventory outside for a home business. That's way past residential use.
Okay. And I don't know where he plans on putting them, he didn't say. But I know that,
If it's on a residential property, that's gonna be a problem.
okay,
Anything else, John?
no, thank you.
Financials, Tina.
At the end of December, in our general, we ended with $535,304.93. In our water operating, we ended with $72,829.36. Sewer operating, $304,645.61. Our trash fund, $42,389.08. And we closed the year with $2,088,979.35. And And I did want to say that in our general budget, we ended the year with a profit of $23,268.54 that will go into our reserve.
So we spent less than we took in.
Correct.
And then you have a resolution here, because you have to move some money from some accounts that we didn't use as much into accounts that we used a little bit more.
Correct.
You guys meet that night.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we adopt that resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And then I have the fee agreement for Forest and Redland for the year of 2026.
I'll make a motion that we approve this agreement.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then the last thing I got is I have both 2026 fire contracts that, once you guys agree to it and sign it, then I'll send them off to the departments to get their signatures.
How does the union contract compare with last year's?
They gave us the raise that we asked for.
How about the grant? The Grant Township agreement?
It's the same as it was last year.
Okay, but they're doing other things, and
Yes.
they support the fire department in other
Yes,
ways.
they actually just bought turnout gear for them.
Okay. But Union Township doesn't do that sort of thing.
Correct.
I'll make a motion that we approve both contracts.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that it for you, Tina?
That is all I have.
Fire department?
An email Joe's at the fire chief meeting, that was tonight. For month of December, there were 20 medical runs since the last board meeting. Breakfast with Santa was a success. Classes have started and all members passed their first hazmat test. They're studying for their operations. And he says to apologize that he cannot be here since he's at the association meeting.
Is that it?
I take my fire one test this week.
Congratulations.
So, otherwise, yeah, that's it.
Anybody have anything for the fire department? Police department?
We had 34 calls, 15 were handled by the county, 11 by us, 8 of those were public service. 7 handled by me, 4 by the deputies, 1 arrest, no tickets, no warnings. I did attend all 3 of those meetings. That was for the multi-agency mitigation hazard planning.
That you have to update every 5 years?
Every 5 years. So I did attend all 3 of those meetings, so that's done with. The only thing that I might suggest that we do as a town is get maybe a complete list of tools, things that we have that we would have to offer or whatever in case of a big disaster of some sort, tornado, something like that. I think that can also, unless I was mistaken, it can also help down the road with the ISO rating for the fire department as well. But I think we should have a complete list of that, so we know if Fowler was to call, or Remington, or whoever was to call, we know what we have to offer without them saying, and I think we got that. So, but, it was kind of interesting because there was significant changes made from 5 years ago, which I was at those meetings as well, from what we did in 5 years ago to what we did now. So,
Is that it, Dylan?
yep, that's it.
Thank you. It's real important that Dylan represented us at those meetings, because that is going to be a box that has to be checked, whether or not we participated in that for grant eligibility.
Yes,
So-
that's another thing I meant to mention.
So it's good that you did that. Thank you. Anybody have anything for Dylan? Dustin couldn't be here tonight. Judd?
We had advertised the surplus property for sale at 601 South Newton. Did we have any offers for that? Okay. So, since there were no offers, you can make a motion to list it if you want to list it, or if you want to take it off the market, that's your prerogative as well.
I'd make a motion, we list it.
Second.
We move to second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then I saw Myra's results on that animal ordinance. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Of course, we don't want to talk about that.
I know it's touchy.
I found those results interesting. It seemed like most people wanted some form of ordinance put in place. There were some that did not, but it seemed like most people, I think it was, 14 to 8 or something like that, wanted some form of ordinance in place. Some of the comments I could wholeheartedly agree with. I mean, I don't think any of us want to live next door to someone that has like a polar bear. But if we live next door to someone that has a hamster, it's probably not going to be such a big deal. And I found it interesting that people would be happy with snakes. When what started this whole thing in this area was a snake killed a lady in Benton County somewhere. That's what started the whole thing. And that's the one animal that people were okay with, was the snakes. People were okay with cages as long as they don't fail. Well, there hasn't been anything man-made yet that doesn't fail sooner or later. So that lady had that snake in a cage, but I don't know if she got it out or it got out or what, one way or another, but it wrapped her up and that was the end of that. Oh, well, anyway. I don't even want to think about that. But, and then another thing, it's almost humanly impossible to list out all the animals that would be okay and all of them that are not. I mean, somebody would say red foxes are okay, well, what about or not okay, well, what about an Arctic fox, or what about this, or what about that? So all the species and subspecies. So I really don't know what to do. I mean, it's obvious that the people want something, but exactly what and how we're going to actually come up with it and then enforce it and police it is an excellent question. You guys got any ideas?
It is very tricky. And I also, the more I think about it, the more and I am not a snake person. Anyone knows me will tell you. But I also kind of have a little bit of a theory of you can get it in a pet store pretty easily, which with rodents and snakes, and usually indoors. So I kind of lean away from those being in there, but I am supportive of everything else, definitely.
And then another aspect we need to think about is, kind of like snakes were okay in South Florida for a while, but now they got a major problem. So, I'm not saying snakes are going to multiply like that around here when it gets to be 5 degrees outside, but there's that aspect of this too. So,
Yeah.
Bill?
You get a limit on cats and dogs. Can you put a limit on that?
I would imagine we could.
There is already.
Well, I think he said we have a limit on
Oh.
cats. Yeah, he said we have a limit on cats and dogs.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Okay?
Do other towns have ordinances that we need to check into?
Yes, as a matter, Judd represents, you represent every town in Benton County plus us?
Not Earl Park, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of this started. When the snake choked out the lady, people started coming up with ordinance. So this ordinance, I think, is probably a mirror image of what the other towns have in Benton County.
A couple of them didn't do anything.
My only concern is the county doesn't help us with the animal complaints now.
Okay, before I forget this, because I'm old and I forget things, but I got to go to the county council meeting in February, the joint meeting between the county and the commissioners for this, asking this loan for them to waive the last payment. I got to go to that meeting. So my plan is to talk to the commissioners about exactly that, because rank and file members of the animal control, they say they don't come to Goodland because Goodland doesn't have an ordinance that supports them or something along that line. And they told us this, they told us that a long time ago, and we adopted the county ordinance. And they're still saying that. So
I had a conversation with Jason Cornell about that. I believe after one of the last meetings when we had a lot of the dog issues getting loose. And the conversation we had is he actually told me he thought that our ordinance was way stricter than everyone else, and he wished the other towns would adopt it. He also said that he was going to contact the dispatch at Animal Control and let them know that Goodland is not excluded. They try and let us handle our own and work with Dylan a lot.
It's because we have that vicious dog ordinance. That's what throws everything off between us and them, and oh, they're not gonna come and help us here or anything. No, they can't enforce that ordinance because that's ours. But at the same time, if, I know, maybe you and Gary remember, years ago, at the same time we did that ordinance is when we adopted the county ordinance at the same time.
yeah,
So I don't know why they wouldn't come for any other dog bites or anything like that. I get that we can enforce the vicious dog ordinance stiffer and stricter than what they can. But they still gotta come for animal complaints and things like that as well.
one of the people on the comment section said that, you know, the town can't make stricter ordinances than the state. Well, that's just simply not true, and Judd will quickly tell you that if we need to ask him that, but that's just not true. So what do we want to do with this animal thing? We want to table it for night and think about it, or do we want more input from the town? What do we want to do here? Are we beating a horse that doesn't need to be beat?
As far as animals inside the house, be it mice, snakes, reptiles, where's that an issue for neighbors or for the community? If I can go to a pet store and buy, like you were saying, I don't see where, they're not making noise, they're not irritating the neighbors. Now, if they get loose, that could be an issue, but you've got that no matter what animal. The birds are pooping on my car, so what are we gonna do about birds? It gets to a point where it's redundant.
And that's true, depending on how vicious the animal is.
You're right.
If it's the kind of thing where an animal, it's an extremely vicious animal, and it gets out, eats the owner, and then gets out or whatever, then either the neighbors are going to have to deal with it, the town's going to have to deal with it. That's fine, depending on where the animal ranks on what it could do.
Because I know we haven't gotten the feral cats under control. We've got 5 out in our backyard that drive our corner crazy. And what do we do with them? There's nothing that can be done that I'm aware of. They've got a path that runs from back behind your shop somewhere. They go that direction and clear past Joe Locke. And they're traveling.
Well, maybe what we can do, after we talk with the county and try to get this animal control thing straightened out, is maybe they can be live trapped and then given to the animal control, because I know that's one thing that irritates the animal control people. There's a dog running loose or whatever, and by the time they get here, that dog's long gone. So if we could live trap those cats or that sort of thing, so that we know they're going to be here, they may be more inclined to help us out.
I have no problems with a live trap being set out there, and I'll help keep an eye on it if it's on my properties. But as far as dogs running loose, we haven't really found as many, or haven't seen as many recently. And a lot of people in town will pick it up and try and find its owner or whatever, So I can see the county's frustration on getting a call. But then you do have irresponsible owners that their dog gets loose, they know that, and they don't go looking. And that's, the one that jumped in my fence with my dogs. That one's at the animal shelter now.
Well, back to the original question. What do you guys want to do here? Do you want to think about it some more? Or do you want to do something? What are your thoughts?
We go either way anyway. Do we revise it that if it can be bought in a pet store, we don't, take those animals off of our, list?
We probably ought to
Hey,
define,
you might wanna be careful with that, cause you can buy chickens at Tractor Supply.
He looks at me.
yeah, and there's probably some place where you could buy a polar bear too.
Eggs.
So we want to be descriptive on what we define a pet store to be.
Yep.
How about if we make a list of all of these things and you guys go through and check off what you think needs to be on the list and come to a consensus on, there are some things that are obvious you shouldn't be having in town, kind of things. And I hear the smaller inside animals are probably not as great a risk. Let me make a list and
Then I'll make a motion, we table it for tonight, and Judd will provide us some more information to consider, and we'll reconsider it again at the next meeting.
Second.
We moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
An idea, like the animals that are more interior animals, that should be more on the owners, making sure that people understand, okay, if you have these, that's your responsibility. If it does get out, then maybe report it or something so that people know. But that needs to be more on the owners, maybe letting them know that it's a stricter ruling of some sort. Instead of saying you cannot have.
Nothing with claws over so big.
What's up, Bill?
Yes.
Okay, well, Judd will bring us back something more to consider. Bill?
You talked about selling animals like this? Because if they were in a house, they couldn't sell animals out of that.
that's exactly what was going on in Oxford. He was breeding snakes.
We used to breed angelfish, and I don't think anyone's gonna notice that. Just a bunch of tanks in the basement,
But I mean, in Oxford, this house was like 100 snakes.
Yeah, I know people.
It was a house that was occupied pretty much only by snakes, next door to a house where the caregiver lived, I think. So I don't know about the, laying with the snakes or whatever, but somehow one got access to her and that was the end of that.
Moving right along.
Not a snake fan.
I would like to request a sewer adjustment at 124 West Prairie for the month of October, November, December, and January. Was made aware of the leak in November after meter readings, but was struggling to find where the leak was after investigating under the home and in the walls. With the ground freezing, the leak finally became visible under the garage cement slab. It was split off from the main water line to a ground hydrant in the backyard. Ward Heating and Plumbing made the repairs today. So the water obviously did not go down the sewer.
No, it went into my backyard and down Ed and Tracy's fence line, so
Make a motion that we grant the adjustment.
Second.
I watered their new lawn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next one here is requesting the town of Goodland to reduce the water bill for this account to the extent allowed by town ordinance because of a leak on the main water line on December 16th. The property fixed the same date. Manuel Moran, 216 South Newton. Did that water go down the sewer? Make a motion that we grant the adjustment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And this last one, I had some pipes break at 230 West Union Street during the cold days we had. It was a few days before I caught it and shut the water off. So I am fixing them. I think that's what it says.
He's here. Is he here?
Yeah, I had the main water break line, and I've been remodeling it, and I wasn't there for 3 or 4 days, and
Did the water go down the sewer?
no, it went in the crawl space.
I make a motion that we approve that adjustment as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mira for Harvest Hangout needs to talk.
Mira?
Hello. As the tenant of the building downtown, we just have a couple concerns regarding maintenance and safety that we wanted to bring to your attention. We have a few joys as well, but I'll start with the concerns. The first is the front door safety. The front door with gusts of wind just swings open, and we're really concerned that that could injure someone or even just shatter whenever it happens. So we were just wanting to see if somebody can look to see if there's any way to adjust the door just so that it stays more secure. And the second thing is the backroom heat. The backroom heater doesn't have a working control dial, so we can't turn it on. So one of our playrooms stays really cold. We've had to resort to using a space heater, which has significantly increased our NIPSCO bill. So we wanted to see if that could be inspected and possibly repaired. And next is the water heater. The hot water heater is not staying hot for very long. Obviously, we need the water heater to wash dishes. We have a really small 3-basin sink that we use, and within like 10 minutes, it's out of hot water. So we've had to wash dishes in very small batches, which obviously adds to a lot of time. So we're thinking that maybe it needs either inspected or repaired. So those are our 3 concerns.
Comments? Tina, could you make a list of that and have Dustin take a look at it and see what's going on?
Yep.
And then we'll just see where we're at.
Okay. I understand like these type of repairs can be costly. I think at one point, that building was under the TIF district. TIF district, sorry. So I don't know if maybe,
I don't think that building was ever in the TIF district.
okay.
That TIF district basically covers, I think, the block that 3D is on, plus ingress and egress to that block.
Okay.
But yeah, your building was never in the TIF.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if maybe that could be possibly a thing to explore in order for the budget to repair these things. But, and I do want to share some joys. We've had people drive down from Chicago. We've had people drive from West Lafayette and Lowell to come check out the cafe. So it's just been a joy and a pleasure to be able to promote our businesses here that we have in town. The living in Goodland and all the events that we offer. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Good. Anybody else have anything, John?
I forgot to tell you, we got rid of 1 car this week, and we're looking at 4 more in the next week or so. And the one behind the gas station, the guy's gonna pick it up. It was somehow got there. But he's, I think, this Friday or next Friday?
Week from Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. is
The owner of that vehicle has been looking for it for 3 months, according to what he told me. Now, it's never been reported stolen, but whoever put it where was the same guy that put the other vehicles there. So somehow or another, he brought the car here. So then when I run the VIN, I then found out who the last known registered owner was and got in contact with him. He'd been looking for it. He asked if he could at least have until, that. So John went ahead and granted him that.
Anybody else have anything they want to discuss with the council?
If you're going to the county, is there anything we can do about them dumpsters? I've been cleaning up behind them, but Brian Whaley helped me once.
Well, they're just not dumping them often enough and they get full, so people throw it on the
They
ground?
come every Wednesday.
And
As soon as they empty them.
They're full.
The next day.
Also-
But people aren't putting the right stuff in them.
No,
I mean,
they're using them for
using
garbage.
Now, you look through the pictures, there's just trash bags in there.
Yeah.
We've cleaned them up a lot too. The boxes aren't broke down. And when Republic picks them up, they don't even get out of the truck. Anything that flies out, flies out.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, you might ask when you're at that meeting, because Diane Gonzi, who's in charge of the recycle program, she was here at a meeting 3, 4, 5 months ago, and she had mentioned that possibly getting dumpsters, the county's looking at getting dumpsters that have lids on them, that just has a slot, so you actually have to break down the cardboard to slide into that dumpster. And the lids, to my knowledge, would be locked down.
And I've called 6 times and they've never returned my call. If they could do something about it.
So would people just, because rather than break them down, would they just throw it out beside the dumpster, kind of like they did right here?
Yeah.
So are we?
And they're throwing stuff in them dumpsters that don't belong to.
Would there be any place
That's just
on the
trash. I
aggregate
mean,
building
It's not recycled.
to put a camera?
And there ain't nothing recycled about what they're using it for, it's just trash.
Yeah.
And the dump, they don't recycle it, it goes directly to the dump.
Well, Jake brought up a good point. We're getting an aggregate building and the storage building put beside it. Could a camera be put there so we see what's going on?
Yeah.
I think we even got cameras, don't we? We got some spare cameras, I think.
That'd be a great idea. At least 2.
So maybe we could do that, see what's going on. Maybe you could work with Dustin, make that happen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to discuss with the council? We'll be up here signing claims, and after that, I make a motion, we adjourn.
That's how close your building is to the TIF district. The yellow
Yeah.
is the TIF, right next door, but it's not there.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's yours? That was a great.
Are you're pretty happy? You're pretty happy today, aren't you?
I'm tired.
I bet.
Such a huge game.
It was.
What about,
It sure was.
what about, the other
Oh,
Mendoza
wow.
going into the portal today?
2 reasons to celebrate.
Was there last night, and he went to Kirkwood Avenue.
What's that?
It's him in front of Showalter Fountain, which is where in 87, when we won the national championship, everybody went there, and they've got these fish that are in the fountain. Well, they're not, they removed them because people steal them, and they're big brass. I mean, they're like big fish that are part of the fountain. They blow water. But there's a picture of me floating around in Showalter Fountain from 87, and I said, go down to the fountain and take a picture. And then that's looking at the downtown. I mean, freaking crazy.
Well, there was a lot of IU representatives at the
Yeah, they said
Miami game.
it was 70% IU is what the Wall Street Journal said.
Yeah.
I like Wall Street Journal for statistics, so because USA Today makes shit up, and I don't know. Yeah, people were up on top of the awnings and the buildings in the downtown. I mean, mayhem. So I said, hey, go down to Kirkwood Avenue, man. And he said, heading down to Kirkwood, pretty much just a big line of cop cars. And that's Kirkwood Avenue before everybody arrived after the win. They just had it's literally a row of parked cop cars with their lights on, just waiting. Wow. So it was kind of calmer. And people were tearing out trees when I was there. I mean, it was horrible. They were very ill-behaved fans.
That's crazy.
But I just wanted to be down there and see it. But so they're kind of famous for burning couches, like pulling them up flagpoles and lighting them. And so he sent me a picture of somebody took a couch out on Kirkwood Avenue and lit it. I was just like, what a hillbilly thing to do. I mean, yeah, He sent me that meme too.
Hi, feeling better?
I wouldn't cough, it wouldn't hurt, but I'm okay.
Everyone is getting sick.
Yeah.
I haven't had a full staff since middle of last week.
I got that damn flu shot 2 weeks ago. I swear, every time I get one of those, then I get all low. But I'm good. I'm not, I mean, it's not the flu or anything. I can't hear, my ears are plugged.
Years ago.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
new
I told her.
UBOs were, I think that kind of cooperation where people kind of acquiesce a bit.
You want one?
Oh, yeah.
I fill this out, you want me to make a copy and send, or you need the original?
I don't care if it's original or not. I can sign off on it too. If you want to just shoot me a copy, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see that automatic adjustment in there? So, because I hate dicking with that, just because there are like 15 of those went out, man. I mean, we represent a lot of municipalities. So we went from 200 to 225 an hour. Last time we raised the rates was at the end of 22 to $200 an hour. So now it says 225 for this year and 4% rounded to the nearest whole dollar after this year. And it's not that far, I mean, we're not making any more money. We're supposed to be getting better experience-wise and charging more and more fees, and I just don't want to do 15 of those every year. And so it's there, and if you guys feel like that's getting salty, look around, man. There's a lot of people are not in this business anymore.
Oh, I know.
Jacob Ayler in Rensselaer, this municipal body represents Benton County Commissioners, Benton County. And he charges, I think, last year he charged $220, so I don't know what he's doing this year. So it's in the neighborhood. I didn't call anybody because I was just like, screw it. I'm trying to get it. So our private rate is $300 now for like private clients. It's always been about $75 a part. But I don't know that I'm going to do a 4% adjustment every year. There's a point where you're not Lafayette and you can't charge like Lafayette. But I was in some litigation in September, and the paralegal charged more than I did for Warren County. I was representing Warren County and charging $200 an hour, and their paralegal was $225. I was like, God damn, man, that's like a glorified secretary.
My corporate collections attorney in Lafayette, he gave me two options out the gate. You know, it's either going to be hourly or it's going to be percentage. And I said, I really kicked that around a lot. And I said, you know what, I'm going with hourly. And he said, okay. And I said, what's your hourly? He told me. So he wouldn't come down, and he's at 3.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I could get him down to is billing in tenths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some people do it in quarters, and it's a scam. I'm not trying to dick anybody. I just want to put it out there and get back to what I do.
Well, we do a lot of communication by email.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of myself, you know, it's going to be, 15 minutes every time I send him an email about anything.
Yeah. No, I know that's not a popular topic, and I know that seems like a big raise. So Mallory used to do a whole bunch of debt collection work, and she would appear as the local attorney for like some national debt collectors, like out of Chicago and Indianapolis. They'd have her go to hearings in Jasper. So I'm paying her mileage to drive her ass to Jasper County, and make $50 for 2 hours, disappearing out of the office for 2 hours. So I put the kibosh on that a year ago. I mean, I don't think I made $1 on anything that she did that was collections wise. She got big mileage checks. Yeah, it did nothing for me. I was just kind of like, paid $50 for you to attend a hearing. I mean, I do not give you permission to go to a hearing for $50. I'm not paying that.
What's Treva, when was Treva retired? When's she retired coming up?
You mean retiring from clerk treasurer?
Yeah.
This will be her last, so when we're up.
Yep.
So 1 year.
And then She's not running again?
No.
I think I'm gonna start.
But she'll be
She's training-
consulting.
Yes, she'll be consulting.
Okay.
She
What's that?
is training her deputy clerk right now.
Do it,
to
man. I was sitting there
take
thinking,
over
man, if
clerk
there's a limit of
treasurer.
3 gorillas,
She'll run on the ballot.
freaking moving here.
And then Trevo
Yeah.
is do consultants.
I see.
I
She
tell
has
you, I don't know.
Goodland,
So
Oxford.
that was
She
that
helps
was
Boswell some.
law enforcement doing that in Benton County.
She does Wolcott, and then she has a
Not a
whole
good
bunch
look.
of townships.
Yeah, that was,
100 snakes and
that was sheriff.
Good. She seems to do a good job, so
yeah.
I was trying to decide if we needed
Yeah,
to find
I'm
somebody
shocked
else
you
or
didn't.
Oh,
what's
no,
gonna
she's
happen,
not,
so.
she'll still do that.
Yep.
What a way to go.
Oh God, I bet you that was terrible. I could only imagine. I'm slightly claustrophobic. I could only imagine what it feels like to get squeezed to death.
Oh. My wife loves snakes. This has been an ongoing discussion for years, where I told her, I said, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. She got me to pet one in a pet store in Florida, year before last. And it was,
Are you warming up to the possibility?
oh, well, I was actually okay with that one. The owner of the pet store, it was their snake. It was a small female ball python. Very, and you could just tell. I could tell. I'm an animal lover. That it was very docile and good. That's it. I'm not holding it.
Yeah.
We're not going to hang out.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Do you remember Pantagia's Pet Palace in Lafayette?
Place.
The old pet store in Lafayette. So all my buddies in junior high got parakeets, and we were all going to teach them how to talk. And so I had to go make the pitch to mom and dad, and dad was like, "Oh God, you're gonna, they live forever." And so we finally agreed that I would go to Pantagia's and ask for the oldest bird that they had. And so I got this powder blue parakeet. And I told him, and he laughed. He goes, "I know exactly what you're talking about." And he sent me home with this blue bird. And so then I got to high school, and then I took him to 5 years of undergraduate, and then I took him to 4 years of law school and graduate school. And my wife has this mortal fear of birds. She was at the Brookfield Zoo during a power outage in the birdhouse for like an hour, and got separated from her parents when she was 3. So she's totally freaked out by
Yeah.
birds. And so we got married, and I gave the bird to mom and dad after that's 15 years down the road, and he died 3 months later.
Oh, wow.
Good night.
Good night.
Get the oldest parakeet they have at Pantagia's Pet Palace.